I woke up with a searing migraine, and I really tried to post up that I wasn't going to be able to go live, and just let you guys know what was going on. And I don't know, I messed up a setting on my phone, and so I'm viewing my page as someone who would come in, and just pop on my page and say hi. So I can send myself a message, but I cannot post anything right now. So investigating that, trying to get that fixed. You know me and technology. I just don't do well with technology. Ha ha ha. Good morning, Pamela. Sorry about that. My lips, everything is so humid, and I've been just chewing on my lips, and then being out in Colorado, I was a nervous wreck all weekend. I had so much fun out there. I really did. Met some great people, and I'm not talking about just YouTubers. I'm talking about everyday people, and I know I said something about this yesterday, but I just can't stop. Good morning, Julie. I can't stop considering how I'm trying to get this out of plastic so I can show it to you, and all I'm doing is making a bunch of noise. How many women were at LeakCon because they wanted to know? Their questions were all about preparedness. They know something's coming, but they're just not exactly sure what it is, which is the same way that most of us are. We all feel it, Heidi Vandenberg, who's an astrologist, and she appears quite a bit on Leak Project. I met her and spoke with her for a little while, and she commented that right now with the planetary alignment, it is the same planetary alignment that occurred on 9/11, and so she referred to this as being a 9/11 type atmosphere. And really, I have to tell you, that's how I feel about it too. I absolutely can see how she's feeling, or see exactly what she's saying. And so many others do too. It's not just me, and it's not just you. And that's why there were so many women who were family people. A lot of them were grandmothers or had adult children and were going to be grandmothers. These women were intelligent folk, and these are not conspiracy theory people. We learned a lot as we went to these conferences, these little meetings, I don't know, discussion groups. I don't know what you want to call it. But the information that I gained from going to LeakCon was really pretty good. I mean, it was astounding to me, and it was not just as we sat in these different groups and listened to the lectures and discussions, and it wasn't that as much as it was speaking to the people individually and getting to know others and what motivated them to come to LeakCon. That was something that was really truly amazing to me. It really was, and the basic thing that I came back with, the basic reason that most women in my age group, I'm 53, and I would say there were women there, my age group, from mid-40s to almost 70. And they were there because they wanted to know what is coming. Number one, what is it that we need to look out for more than anything else? And then number two, how's it going to impact us, and what can we do to prepare for what's coming? So I learned that the biggest concern, because a lot of people who were there, a lot of YouTubers were there, but there were also people who are astrophysicists, people who study our solar system. And I've been telling you for a while that our weather pattern is greatly affected by what's going on in our solar system. Our weather's affected by what happens to the sun. And we're told about all these different cosmic rays that are coming through our atmosphere now that never used to, and they're giving different effects on us. For instance, when there is a CME, and when that solar wind hits the earth, there's a measurable change in our heart rhythm. Measurable change in our heart rhythm, directly related to what's going on with the sun. So there was a dramatic increase in heart attacks and heart-related ailments. He threw stroke in there, but I don't consider stroke to be part of a heart ailment, really, because you have to have a blood clot or something to create a blockage, to create a stroke event in somebody. So heart attacks, definitely. Heart-related disorders like arrhythmia. I cannot think of the different things, but it, has to do with your wavelengths. So, and the thing that the majority of the speakers was concerned most with was this grand solar minimum, and describing exactly what happens and what they hypothesize will happen to the Earth if the sun goes into a complete grand solar minimum and kind of shuts down for a little while. I guess the best way I can describe it is like a furnace. And the furnace gets going and it's cooking along, and then it's reached its heat point, and then it shuts off for a little while. And then when it reignites, especially the old gas furnaces, if you remember when you were a kid, there's always a pilot light lit. And when the thermostat would drop below a certain degree, you'd hear this psh, woof, where the gas would push into the furnace, and then the pilot light would ignite it, and there's just a little boof of gas as the furnace kicks on. So you always knew when the furnace was kicking on. Thank you, Julie. Perfect. Pardon me. So when that furnace kicks back on again, it is going to just blast again. And what I can envision that by is, okay, the furnace reaches its maximum temperature, and then it kicks off for a little while. And as it cools, the outer shell of the sun, there's just this thin outer layer that cools quickly because the sun space is cold. And our heat comes from our star, which is our sun. It's kind of like if you imagine Kilauea, how that lava flows and flows and flows, and then that top layer, that crust, gets kind of black. But if you had a pickaxe or a shovel, all you had to do is bang it hard enough, and you'll see the lava flowing underneath of it. That's what I envision our sun going into, like a mini supernova during a grand solar minimum. That's their fear. It gets a little crust over the top of it, and then when that furnace kicks back on again, heat expands, and as the sun warms back up and begins to expand, it blows off that outer crust, and it creates glass sphericals that are just projectiled onto the Earth and onto the moon, onto any planet that's in its direction. If it did a 360 degree explosion, then it would be all directions. If it just jetted, it would just be, who knows? Nobody's ever really survived one. Nobody's ever seen one to write it down that we know of. Maybe not. Maybe there are pictures of it, petroglyphs in the desert. Might be some very, very distinct pictures of what they saw. Thanks, guys. Hey, fabulous. Thank you, Freya, for letting me know that, and everybody. Sending all your love. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So these glass sphericals that get blown off of the sun, found out that they believe moldavite is actually, instead of being cometary particles, cometary impacts, that they are actually those glass sphericals blown from the sun. And Christy, I know you've got that moldavite nearby, so grab it and take a look at it. Because I did. I looked it all over before I sent it to you because I just love it. I think it's beautiful. It's something special. Well, if it's what they say it, that they hypothesize it is something special. Because the moldavite, what they believe, is one of the glass sphericals that was exploded from the sun during the last grand solar minimum when it went supernova. And the engine shut down and then started back up again, and it blew that particle. So check that out, Christy. It's very interesting, the formation of the moldavite. Very interesting. And I noticed, because I got to hold 3 different pieces of it, I got to notice that they're all roughly the same size, and they all have this same, it's almost like a donut shape. There's a little divot in the center of it, and then it kind of blasts outwards. I know you have, Christy. Excuse me. It looks like what it says. It looks like a piece of molten glass thrown through the air and at super high speed. So I don't know. Very interesting. Very interesting. And maybe that's why aliens are so attracted to it, right? Because they say if you hold a piece of moldavite, you're almost guaranteed to connect with aliens or star beings, whatever you want to call them. Oh, shoot. Let's pull a card because, I went out this morning, played with the dogs for a few minutes, and said my morning prayers and grounded and everything. And I asked my guides to, let me know whatever it is that they want me to say it. And that wasn't what I thought I was going to talk about, really. That was not what I thought I was going to talk about. Not the sun going supernova or anything like that, which is something that is a very real possibility. Very real possibility. I mean, it's just got all these symptoms of something going on, and we all feel it. Well, it may not occur in our lifetime. But what is occurring in our lifetime, and this is what I really thought they were going to have me talk about, honestly, what is occurring right now in our lifetime is something so devastating that it's going to take probably 5 years to recover from, if 5 years. And that is that you need to pay attention to the weather, for one thing. It's not, this weather pattern, this flooding is not only occurring in the United States. This is occurring in Saudi Arabia, in Iraq, and Iran. It's occurring in the deep desert that doesn't get rain. They are flooding out. I mean, cars are washing down the street. Mountainsides are so saturated with water that they're tumbling down and they're burying people. And we haven't even got into fire season yet. Tornadoes, devastating. So many tornadoes last night. The rivers here, the Missouri River is up. It's out of its banks right now. It hasn't, in my area, it hasn't creeped out too much farther, but any more rain. Out west, up north, any more rain. And the fields are going to be saturated again, and we're not going to be able to get in and plant. This planting season, there's several short planting seasons. May is gone. The first planting season of the year is gone. There's no recovering from that, and that is where the majority of our harvests come from as far as our early crops. I think it's about time to start thinking about getting soybeans in, but it's too wet. It's too wet. They can't even consider putting a tractor out there in this. And so they do believe that, I heard strawberry season is gone. There's no strawberries this year. Onions, season for onions is gone. There's no onions this year, or at least no onions when you consider that our store shelves are always packed with produce. In the United States, we're some of the luckiest people in the world. I was talking to somebody from Dubai one time. I was talking to a lady from Dubai. And you know, her thing, what she wanted me to take a picture of more than anything else, was the grocery cases of milk. Milk. She said, I heard that you have milk that spans a whole wall. And I said, yeah, we do. We do. And she says, I can't imagine that. Can you please take a picture of what that looks like for me? Milk, you know? And so in the United States, we are, my God, we have a lot of food in our grocery stores. We really do. I mean, just the variety, for one thing, is enormous. But you will see your produce in your local grocer starting to, well, you know, right now, like your top shelf grocery stores, they only take the A quality produce and they leave it to the mom and pop chains to pick up the B's and C's. It's the way they are. Pay more money. And then it trickles on down. Well, you're going to see a lot more B and C grade vegetables in your prime grocery stores because it's not available. It's not going to be available. Cereals, the grains, the breads, we're not going to have them. The wheat crop in Europe is devastated. They're flooding just like we are. Russia, just like we are. This is worldwide. This is not a United States problem. This is worldwide. And it is so, so important that I can't stress enough to you. I cannot stress enough to you. Because this isn't our only season that we've been devastated by one thing or another, whether it's fires or hail and not even, good morning, Donna. Good morning. Not even in our local area, you know, devastation in Europe and in Russia and in China and down in Mexico, where we get a lot of our fresh fruits and vegetables, where we get our grains from, you know. The world's economy is sustained by the world's production of whatever, food, oil, merchandise. And right now, the entire world is suffering from this devastating weather pattern that we've got going on, and it's not going to end. It is not going to end. When the rain stops, the sun comes out, it's going to stay out. You know, so this early planting season, the springtime where we depend, and they're talking about this spring, they're talking about this rivaling 1993, when we had all that devastating flooding. They're talking about 2019 spring and early summer rivaling 1993. I don't know about you guys, but Kansas City was devastated. And the Midwest, Ohio, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, was nothing but an enormous river. I believe that I heard at one time that the width of the flooding in the central states was 70 miles wide in 1993. So I'm getting more concerned, and I'm getting more, and Julie, I tell you, it's got more to come. We got more to come. This system, the storm system that's circling across the United States right now, is considered to be a land-based hurricane. Now, I don't know about you guys, but not in all my years until just maybe the last year have I ever heard of a land-based hurricane. They said that the low pressure in the center of this storm was 930 some decibels or millibars, or however it is that they rate those. You know, I guess, and my husband said when I left to go to Colorado, he said, please don't come back terribly changed. He's like, oh Lord, you know, you're going to find something to grab onto and you're just going to run with it. And, you know, and I just laughed at him. I just laughed at him and said, I don't think so. I'm a little bit smarter than that. So it wasn't what the speakers were talking about. it was about the things that I learned when I sat in small groups in one of the little off areas in the hotel, where they have little sections, couches and stuff set up, little rooms here and there, little side rooms, and every evening there would be, and it started about 4 o'clock. People would just go out and sit around and hang out and wait and see who was going to come and hang out with them, whether it was Greg Allison or Jeff Doherty or Rex Bear or whoever. And it was during those times that I learned the most. And it was during the times that I was speaking to people one-on-one and getting to know why they were there. Why? Because we had something in common already. We were all there. And we were all married women who had adult children and husbands that we left at home so that we could come. And the reason why the women do these things, to me, is because we are the ones that effect change in subtle ways in our home, but they are permanent and lasting ways. So, and because women oftentimes, and this is not all women, and I'm not discounting any men at all who have gifts or abilities, because I know they do. I know they do. But what I'm saying is that women seem to have a little bit, that extra something that we tend to pick up on the atmosphere and the feelings of what's going on in our world. For instance, Heidi Vandenberg said that this is a 9/11 atmosphere, and she's 100% right. It is a 9/11 atmosphere. We all feel like something is coming, and we all feel like things are changing. And I'm here to confirm to you that your gut feeling is 100% and totally correct. Things are changing, and they're changing so quickly. And so when I say start stockpiling seeds. If you can still get onion sets from the local farmer's store or whatever, grocery store, if you can still get onion and potato sets, whether or not you have a garden, I would get some onion and potato sets. And I would do my best to save them for as long as I can and be ready to plant them next spring, because you're going to need those things. You're going to need them. That's why I've been posting up. I shared a post today from the urban farmer because she's in suburbia. She got just a tiny little yard. She doesn't have much. She doesn't have much space. But she made excellent use out of all of her space. And the thing about when you own your own home, or if you rent your home, if you've been in a place for a long enough time, 3 or 4 years, you know your house's season. You know where the sun shines the most. You know where you get the most shade. And from that you learn what to plant where. What plants can tolerate more shade than sun, or which ones need a good 50-50 split. Which ones need that morning sun and which ones need that evening sun, and then you plant accordingly. So yeah, I'm kind of on a tear right now as far as preparedness goes. And I see it getting a lot more serious. I feel really, really pushed by spirit to get out of the city. Get out of the city. Get away from the city. And get someplace where I don't have to have a lot of land, but I'd like to have a lot of seclusion. And I would like to have a good space, and I would like to have a water well in the ground. Those things I'm pretty sure I want. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I want to be able to terrace out a garden and prep the land that I get. I want to start working on it as soon as I have it, and have it prepped and ready to start planting. If I can plant stuff in the fall, I will, and have it ready for springtime. That's what I'm going to do. If I need to prep my land to prepare it for planting in the springtime, then that's what I'm going to do. But I am going to get extremely serious about this. And if I don't feel like I can get someplace that I will have some space to grow, then I'm going to start investing in vertical gardens for the inside. You know, whether it's lights or planters or water systems, you know, whatever it is that I need, I'm going to start and look at where, for one thing, where am I going to land? And then once I'm landed, what am I going to do? Am I looking for some place where I'm going to be able to grow everything outside? Do I need a greenhouse to start stuff, to start my fruits and vegetables? You know, and just get working on it. Just get working on it and get serious about it. So you guys stick with me, boy. Talk about a life change. Yeah, but it's one of those learning things. You guys stick with me, and we will learn together. We'll figure out what's right and what's wrong, and what works well for the northern states, what works best out west, and how to plant a rice paddy. Because right now rice paddies are looking pretty good. I don't know. All right, let's pull a card. I'm gonna quit goofing. That's just been on my mind. That has been on my mind. There is no interaction on YouTube. No, there's not. There's not. At least, though, that I did come up on YouTube, I'm happy about that. You know, I don't mind. But I think I did find out what I was doing wrong on YouTube. I'll find out this morning. I had downloaded YouTube Live, I think it was what it was. It was the live streaming platform. And so none of my videos were posting up. And that's all I really care about. I don't care if 10,000 people watch me or one person or no people watch me on YouTube or Twitch. You know, I just want the videos to stay so that if someone happens along one day, you know, because we get called in directions. The Spirit calls to us to go here or do this or say that. And I really feel like if there is a message that somebody needs to hear, they'll find that video. They'll just click on that video and they will receive the word that they were needing to hear right now, because that's what I ask my guides to let me do every day. You know, tell me, use my mouth and let it be whatever you need words to get out. Let the words come. I'm not afraid. And, you know, I introduced myself as little sister to quite a few people this past weekend, and told them about myself. I told them about my show on Facebook, and the majority of the comments that I received was Facebook is dead. And I thought, well, YouTube's, you know, pretty much kicking up its last little foot there. YouTube's not much better. Everybody is searching for new platforms. And I said, well, but you know what? I was familiar with Facebook. And how many morning shows have you seen on Facebook? How many live morning shows are there? Hardly any. You know, nobody on Facebook does a live morning show. I said, if you want to do an auction, well, hell, there's plenty of auctions. There's plenty of sales sites. If you want to buy something, anything you want to buy, man, you buy it on Facebook. But there's not a whole lot of people like me on Facebook that just want to sit and BS and wake you up. And help the awakeners awaken. You know, help those who need. Wow, Nikki, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. And, you know, and I love Facebook too. I can't help it. I understand how Facebook works. And it is much more, I think, because people are very, very protective of their groups. You know, they don't want to share their groups out. They don't want to blah, 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 you know. And they, it's more like family to me, you know. And I want my family to be huge. I want my family to be huge. I want you to share me with other people, especially if I have something that resonates with you or something that you think somebody else needs to hear. Man, share these videos, share them. And because I appreciate it when you do. I really do appreciate it. But and I'm not saying that so that I can get rich and famous, because really I don't even know salespeople who get rich and famous on on any venue, really. Well, YouTube maybe. But Spirit has things that other people need to hear, not just me. I think that's why I started talking one day. I don't know. Dearest you, this is I gotta say this. I gotta say this every day now. When I show something off from somebody else, especially when I'm reading cards, I have to absolutely give them props every day. Savannah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome. So may we grow together in our awakenings. But for copyright infringement, and I don't want to infringe on anybody's copyright, and I really do appreciate Colette Baron-Reed for her work on Postcards from Spirit. I mean, I really appreciate these cards more than anybody else, I think, because they're perfect. They fit everything. And so get yours today. You can find Colette Baron-Reed on YouTube. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff. And you can also, I bought these cards on Amazon. So if you feel compelled, go visit her Facebook page. Go visit her on YouTube. She had a show on the Lifetime channel for a while. And that is where the idea of these postcards came up. She said that she would go visit so many people. And it seemed like they would have so many spirits around them, and they all had something to say. And she said, I can't do this. I can't have so many spirit around me needing to say something and not being able to get to them. It's not right. And they said, well, just write them down and make postcards. So, dearest you, we are gathering our magic together to help celebrate your new beginning. There you go, Savannah. How's that, huh? Help celebrate your new beginning. You're stepping into a new version of your life, getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when the urge to expand wells up inside of you from a primal place? The form of what you are growing has yet to take shape, and it is exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. I love this card. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any kind of new relationship, and it's okay to admit that you really don't know what to expect. What you can know is it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life, Spirit. You've made it to a new level of awakening and contributing. And we're so excited to see where this will take you next. We're so proud of you. Savannah, I think that was your postcard from Spirit, and maybe Melody too. That's fabulous. I love it when Spirit gives us answers. I really, really, truly do. And I really honestly believe with all my heart that Spirit resonates with these cards. And as my hands pick the cards, the words that need to be said, well, they just kind of appear out of nowhere, magically. Speaking of something magical. Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Excuse me. Let me go down here for a second. And I'm back. So John D'Souza, if you don't know him, he's a retired FBI agent who is pretty darn famous for paranormal investigation. You guys are so cool. Thank you, Christy. Nice, Camille. Nice. I'm glad. So he had a little table. Everybody's got a table. They're selling their books on. Their vendors as well as speakers. And so I bought one of his books. I don't know where the heck it's at right now. Anyway, that's not the point. But he also had some energy devices. I don't know what they are. But this is created by Halo Tech. Let me see if it'll focus on that. No, not really. So all it is a little magnetic button. And this little thing, if I stick it on the outside where my gas tank is, on the door, I can put it on the door. I can put it there in the little pocket, but just stick it around the gas tank. and it is supposed to improve my gas mileage by like 40%. I don't know. I said, really, from a little button? And they said, yeah, it's the energetic field, and it ionizes the particles, and it allows the oxygen to come in and hit it, and it expands at a faster rate, and all this stuff that I don't understand. So I'm going to go to the website and check it out. Halo Tech is what it's called, and they had one for your air conditioner that would improve the BTUs or cut down on the expense of running your air conditioner. They had one for the vehicle, and they had a couple of others. I don't know where they were at or what they were for. I don't really remember. And also had some medallions either on a chain and they're supposed to be an energetic field with 33, 34 different frequencies resonating out of it at all times. And, you know, people are so funny, and I love everybody because everybody does the same thing. When you find something that gives you a specific effect that you're looking for, like for instance, I have on an ankle chain, an ankle bracelet that my husband bought for me, down in Branson, Missouri. And it is one of those that is supposed to be infused with 33 or 34 frequencies. And what it's supposed to, the theory behind this bracelet is that we all have this a flow of meridial energy, and your energy flows up one side and down the other, and it's like a constant circuit of energy flow. And when your energy circuit is interrupted or the flow is broken, then you start feeling pain in your body. Theory behind this bracelet. And so if you put on one of these bracelets, then it helps regulate that flow of energy and keep it flowing. And it repairs all the breaks, and therefore it stops the pain in your body. If you have one on each leg, well, that's fabulous. I used to wear bells too, April. I sure did. Everywhere I went, I had bells on. So I don't know if this works or not, but these little black dots on the back of this bracelet, these are supposed to be the receptors that were infused with 32 or 33 or 35 different frequencies of energy. So I don't know if it works or not. I've been wearing this ankle chain now for 2 years, and I still have back pain, but it's not as bad. I mean, I used to have devastating back pain, and I'm too afraid to take it off for any length of time to find out if it really is working. So, you know, when we find something like this that works and we don't understand what it is, but we just know that it works, we tend to, at least vendors anyway, we tend to grab onto it and want to share it with everybody. Pardon me. So that's the way he was with these buttons. Excuse me. Got a piece of ice in that one. That's the way he was with these buttons, though. And he's like, oh, you got to try this button. You got to hold this. And so I'm holding on to it. And he's like, do you feel the energy exchange? And I'm like, you know, I'm sure it's really good. But I don't even feel energy in crystals for the most part when I pick them up. You know, I might be attracted to them, but I have yet to pick up any crystal at all and feel the vibration of it. Oh my God, I feel the vibrations are so fantastic. And I kind of am a little bit envious of people who can, because I want to know what that feels like. I really do. And people that I have helped balance out their chakras with Yoshashan working with me, and they feel the energy circulating throughout their chakras. I mean, and they do. Everybody says it. Every single person tells me, my God, I can feel that energy. Some people, it makes them nervous. It kind of scares them. And other people just feel very, very comfortable with it and like relieved and relaxed. Myself, I still haven't felt that energy yet. I was talking to a young man named CJ when I was out there this weekend, and he has a autoimmune disorder, and it's caused a lot of time in his life where he spent a lot more time in bed when he was at the height of his career, and he discovered tuning forks. and how when he's discovered how you ring a tuning fork, and you can measure the width of your aura by, if you're holding onto the tuning fork and you pull it away from your body, the sound will abruptly stop. So when you pull it back in, the sound starts ringing more true, and the closer you get to your center, the louder the ring is. And it was true. It really did do that. And he said you can find like blockages in your aura field by holding this tuning fork and just doing a circle around your body. And where the sound dims out, he said that's a blockage in your aura. And you move it until you get the sound going again, and then just push it in towards your center. And he said that's how he removes the blockages. So it was very intriguing, very interesting. I kind of wish I would let him work on me a little bit, but we didn't have time. I was able to, Yoshisham was just screaming in my head, balance his chakras, balance those chakras. And I'm like, crap, man, I don't like doing that. Because if you just walk up to somebody, or you're having a conversation with somebody, and you say, hey, man, you mind if I balance out your chakras real quick? The conversation pretty much ends, and there's no more to it after that. Like, oh, no, I don't have time for getting my chakras balanced out there. I gotta hit the road. And then they leave. And they leave quickly. And so, but in this type of environment, it was kind of not really an anything goes environment, but it was, I accept you as you are kind of environment. I accept who you are just as you are, and there's no judgments here. And so since he was already used to working with energy, it just sounded right, So I asked him if I could balance out his chakras for him. And I said, I know you do this all the time because you use the tuning forks, and I understand that, this is your method, but if you don't mind, I said, I'd like to do this and help balance him out a little bit. And he said, no, that's perfect, because you know how hard it is to do it on yourself. So he said, if I could get any kind of energy from you, that'd be great. And so it was, that was probably, I always feel like there's a reason that I am brought wherever it is that I go, no matter how I get there. Whether I'm paying for it myself the whole way, like I did for this convention, or whether I am vending, and so I put in a small entry fee, and I don't have to pay near what people have to pay to get in, Got my entry fee, and I set up my table, and I'm just sitting there. I'm still taken wherever it is that I need to be, wherever that goes. And I just feel like he was the reason that I went to Colorado, not to enjoy myself at a convention, or meet a bunch of YouTubers that I admire, or listen to the different people speak on things that they were professional about. Passionate about, I'll say that, passionate about. It was to help that young man. I really believe that. I knew it then. I knew it whenever I was sitting there visiting with him. What's Julie got to say? She said we can find the right tone ourselves using using only our hands in our chakra area. The right tone by feeling the vibration. Wow, Julie, that's very cool. That is very cool. And see, if I had the ability to share screen, I just don't know how to do it yet. I don't think I have the right program to do that, to where I can share my screen and video at the same time and just do a live video. I would bring you on and have you show us how to do that. Man, God, I'm just kicking myself in the ass for not having that program yet. So hopefully the hopefully the tech, Brian, my tech guy, and at Hello Tech, is going to hear my plea and come see me. April uses sound and colored lights to help you with your fibro pain. Have Christmas lights above your bed. I had a lady when I was in Philadelphia last year at an expo, and I was doing, I was at MUFON, and I was selling crystals at MUFON, but I just also picked up a couple of readings on the side afterwards. And this one lady that I happened to do a reading for was very much into colored light therapy. Very much seen it. Awesome. Awesome, April. Color therapy is very good. People use green light, red light, blue light, white light, and yellow light. And I don't know what they all do. I don't have a clue. I kind of wish I did. It's just another layer of receiving energy healing. Ah, man. Let's do a couple more cards. Let me read a couple more cards, and then I'll let you guys go about your day. It seems like there was a lot of stuff today. A lot of stuff that Spirit wanted to get out. And I'm telling you what, the feeling, the biggest thing that I keep hearing in my head is food shortage. Like there's no more mega store. There's no more Kroger or Safeway or Price Chopper or whatever Piggly Wiggly your stores are, that has everything that you need. No more Walmart superstores. Because we're going to have to go back to local farming and being able to sustain ourselves. And sustainability really is the key. It is not conservation. It is not pro-choice or pro-life. It is sustainability, sustaining yourself and your family for everything that you need, no matter what it is. Chickens, very, very high on my list of things that I will have. So I need to be able to have space to have chickens, right? Even though I've got 2 dogs, I'll have a dog for dinner if he eats my chickens. That's so mean. Dear you, and you know who you are. There is balance between activity and rest, ebb and flow. You can't have one without the other. If you're faced with an obstacle right now, the best course is surrender and non-resistance, and soon enough, you'll see how easy it is to flow around it. Now is one of those times when you must trust the river of your life. Go with the flow, and in no time, you'll reach what you have your heart and hopes set on. Just remember, Spirit will keep your head above water and will direct the currents. When it's time for a greater effort, you'll know exactly when you'll need to work those manifesting muscles. It can be challenging to master the flow cycles of your life, but as you develop your skills, affluence will be yours. Enjoy the flow and trust those currents, for we're right there with you with our little umbrella drinks, smiling at your success. We love you so very much. Aw. Aw, that was sweet. Do you know that there was a graph? Christian Westbrook, is that his name? Christian Westbrook, the Ice Age farmer, showed a graph. And on that graph, and it was from like the 1700s forward, maybe the 1400s. Had to have been earlier. Had to have been around the 1400s forward to current day. And it showed on a graph, starting up here, the number of people who could farm or produce food. And it went like this. And it's down to like, I want to say he said 2% of the world's population know how to sustainably farm for themselves. 2%. Could have been 12, but I don't think so, because his graph was down on the bottom line. Yeah, Christy, teaching your kids at home to me is absolutely, I think it's a brilliant thing to do. I really do. I feel like school is indoctrinating our children and teaching them defiance, and and it's not, they're not teaching them self-respect. They're not teaching them to stand up for themselves and not be afraid and don't back down. They're teaching them defiance. And defiance is a whole different ball game. And I don't like it. Yeah, that was a good that was a good card. It was a good card. I felt that one too, April. I really did. When I was in the middle of reading and I said, thank you. I needed to hear this. Needed to hear this. I got my finger on it. There we go. So, God, I wish you guys joy. I really do. You know, I don't want this to be a channel of porn, fear, porn. I'm sorry. Fear porn. Fear porn is what I meant to say. Oh my God. I want it to be informational and educational and fun and enlightening and growing and, you know, all the good stuff. All the good stuff, because I want you to go away every day, not just having hope for today, but I want you to smile and be grateful and happy to be a part of the day, not just be alive. I know, April. Sorry about that, little faux pas. Dearest, wonderful you, to help you manifest a life for the highest good, we invite you to examine your deepest desires. Imagine all your desires, no matter what kind, like magic seed pods in a basket, glowing with infinite potential. Look closely at each one. Are you afraid that some may bring you too much attention and invite negative reactions from others? Is change too daunting? Are you afraid to stretch and grow? Let yourself be led forward and let the seeds of positive intention take to the wind. Your desires count and you are worthy of them. They're essential for co-creating your world. Did you ever consider that when a desire comes from deep within you, it might be spirit moving you to create something beautiful to share with others? Some desires are infused with miraculous powers to move the heart and influence the world in ways you can't possibly know. We know you and love you so deeply, and we are so happy to support you. Oh, that was a big, big hug. That was a great big hug from Spirit. Wow. Wow. You know, it is nice to know. It really is nice to know in your heart that you are supported, not only loved by Spirit, but that they support us and that they really want us to do, not only do good and not like do great, but just do our highest and greatest good. Because when we do what's for our highest and greatest good, we share that with other people. We do. We share it in the things that we do, what comes out of our mouth, from our eyes, and everything that we say and do is reflected. It reflects who we truly are inside. And so, keeping that in mind, when we try and we ask Spirit to give to us for our highest and greatest good, that we may do for our highest and greatest good. Well, that's about the best thing you can ask for every day. So to you today, for you, I ask that Spirit bring to you all that you need for your highest and greatest good. I'm asking for peace in your heart and mind. Little special extra attention to Wiz as she goes through a very, very dangerous surgery today. Really, please, everybody, keep your thoughts and prayers with Wiz today, because she's going to need them. It's a very serious surgery that she's undergoing right now. And Freya, thank you for being there with her and for your strength and your love. And Donna McGee, always a treat to see your face, love. Always a treat. All of everything for your highest and greatest good I wish for you. And just peace. And just have a great day. Have a beautiful day. Go out and celebrate it. If it's raining where you are, go out and ask the earth to accept the water, to refill her wells, and to wash off whatever doesn't need to be there, you know. Do what we can, as well to the earth as for each other. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you for being a part of my mornings. Give love abundantly in everything you do, and give love abundantly every day.